I tell you what, when you talk about faith, I feel like I have a really good understanding, a new, fresh understanding of faith, because I'm a father, and I've got 4 kids, and you know this, they're kind of a range of kids, and I can see where my younger kids, I tell them to do something, even something they can't do, and sometimes we play around with it, but I tell them to do it, and they do it because Dad told them, and they believe me. They believe me. And there's something wonderful. That's what God wants us to do. He tells us to do something, and we come up with our lists of why we can't do it. But faith it's that place to where we say, okay, God says do it. We're just going to do it.
Right.
We're going to figure it out.
Right. And part of it is this concept of obedience. And obedience isn't about following the rules. Mm-hmm. Obedience is about growing in the trust of God. And that spiritual, rational service is saying, I'm going to trust God more and more and more. I've heard so many times in my life, God will never give you too much to handle. Mm-hmm. Well, actually for me, mm-hmm. He's giving me more than I ever imagined I could handle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're seeing that in a positive light. I'll tell you, obedience, that's a word that a lot of times church loves to use, and sometimes they can mess it up. Just like you flipped it to the positive, a lot of times in the church world you can flip it to the negative. And obedience is a wonderful, wonderful thing, but it's a wonderful thing when it's based on our love for Him. God, I love you so much. What would you have me do? I'll do it. A lot of times the church looks at, and I don't say the church to slam the church, but a lot of times religion, not the church, but religion can look at people and say, you need to obey. And that's not God's heart. That's not my heart as a parent. My heart as a parent is not like, son, you obey Dad. My heart to my son is, son, I'm going to direct you in the best way that you could possibly go in your life. If you'll listen and if you'll obey, I'm going to direct your future. And so obedience is a gift. It's a wonderful thing to be able to walk in. But it's only wonderful when it's based in love. And that goes back to what we talked about originally. Originally, knowing the perspective of who God is. Realizing that His mercies are available. He's helping us walk through the difficult.